In cyber safety and cyber crime, we are taking multiple choice questions MCQs. The first one is the use of the internet or other electronic means to stop or harass an individual, a group of individuals, or an organization is termed as. So, what happens if a girl is walking on a street and some goon or say some ashik goon, he is following that girl every day, every time, says some bad words, or this thing is called as stalking normally. Picha karna. Moving wherever you are going and watching every move. And when this is happening on internet, this is called as cyber stalking. For example, say your social media account, your website, or anywhere he is always there and doing bad things, maybe only watching or sometimes even interfering with your work. Which of the following is a cyber crime? Which of the following is a cyber crime? Hacking, as I said, any digital, say, web service or website or any account. Say an account has a username password. Now we have two-point verification also. Now, even after having all this, if someone hacks the account, that is without even your permission, someone is entering, because if somebody is entering your house, he's a burglar without your permission or on your property. So, going inside your account, doing something which is not being permitted by you, worm and virus attack, they are also a cyber crime. So, why this worm and virus attack? They are not much related with cybercrime, you'll say, but it's not, because there are certain viruses that comes with your website, with some malicious website. That can be virus, that can be a worm, it can be a malware. See, virus is basically a program which needs some human intervention. Worm, once it is placed somewhere, it doesn't need any human intervention. It just go through network from here and there. It just multiplies. So this is how the virus attack on a personal computer is also considered as cyber crime. Okay, if someone intentionally does that, for example, if there is a server where websites are being placed or some digital content or important material is placed and there is a virus attack by someone, that is a cybercrime. Dash refers to email that appears to have been originated from one source when it was actually sent from another source. Okay, let me give you an idea about this. Now you are here, this is you. Now your friend is there, say he is X. Now you normally get email from X and you'll say, oh, X has sent the email, but some Z has sent posing that it is X. That is, it has been originated from one source when it was actually sent from another source. So it is coming through X, but it has originated through Z. So that is called email spoofing. Might be the control has been taken, or might be he might have hacked or got the username password or any other credentials. So this is email spoofing. In cyber law terminology, DOS means what? DOS is denial of service. Denial of service. Okay, let me give you an example. It can be any service. For example, if you go to a bank and you say a teller or a cashier, he says, no, I won't give you the money. So that is, he is denying your service, denying a service. So for example, it's an email. Just take an example of email. Now you are not able to enter your email, or you are not able to connect to web server, or your some of the sites are not opening. So that is, some of the services are broken. So you are not getting services. So this is called denial of service, DOS. Okay. There are certain people who doesn't want you to be mentally. This affects mentally. So मानसिक Pratarna, this is called. Dash refers to sending email to thousands and thousands of users, similar to a chain letter. So one email is typed and it is being sent to thousands and thousands of users, because you have seen that in email the addresses to which it can be sent are innumerable, literally infinite. So someone is coming to you and he says buy this thing, you says no, I don't want, then he is always after you. So that is, he is a spam for you. When you really want something and you are going to a person and you're buying, it's not spam. So this is an example. So this email you don't want and it is coming to you again and again, so that is spam. By hacking, web server taking control on another person's website, called as web hijacking. Web hijacking. Okay, see what happens here. What is that hijacking? In a very simple words. So assume there is a bus, and here is a bus and it has a driver, one conductor, and others are the passengers. Now some goon, some malicious person came inside and he takes control of the bus, and the bus going somewhere else is going somewhere else. So the route has changed. So the bus has been hijacked. So if there is a web server where normally the web services are being placed, this web server contains websites or web services. So basically websites are IP addresses only, and this is how people access all over the globe these websites or these web applications. Now someone has taken control of this web server, so he or she might have hijacked this. So this is what is the answer. Programs that multiply like viruses but spread from computer to computer are called as worms. So viruses are what? As I said, they are a program or a code. So it will come in a system with, say, some pen drive or a hard drive. The computer get infected. Someone else will come. He will put pen drive, so he will get the pen drive will get affected. Now he will go to another computer, so that computer will be infected. So it's a chain effect, right? One by one it will happen. But worms, once it is, when it is there, so without any human intervention, it will just take the control of network and it will flow, it can transfer from one point to another. So that is how it is spreading, multiplying like viruses. They are multiplying like viruses, but they spread from one place to another. Section 66F of IT Act deals with. So we will talk about this act in the concluding discussion. So this is the cyber terrorism, 66F. That is, if you are using the internet technology, internet and this ICT, in internet communication technology. So now maybe you phone someone through your cyber way and call someone and police say that this is going to happen, or there is a bomb here. So that is a kind of a cyber terrorism. Terrorism is basically, putting people in fear, and that is what, if you done through internet, it is cyber terrorism. Act of attempting to acquire information such as username, password and credit card details by masquerading as a trustworthy entity is called. It's called phishing. The answer is phishing. Say, I'll just give an example. This is a computer. Now say you have it can be your tablet also, computing device. So now you opened your web browser. Now you typed, say, www, say bank name, any bank name, ICICI.com. Now you want to access ICICI.com. Whenever you open, so that website will open. Now you'll see that this is a legitimate. Same way as ICICI website is. You will put the username and password. So when you enter the username password, this will say this username password is wrong. It will say it is wrong. So phishing is basically making the exact copy of that page and putting in front. So once username password is entered and it is being shown that it is wrong. Now what you will do, normal person will do what? He will enter the username password again. but the previous username password is already been taken by the phishing type of web page by someone else. Second time you are actually entering, you are actually putting username password in the actual ICICI.com. So it will be first shown as a page. You will enter, it will say wrong username password. Then finally the actual page will come and then you will enter. But username password has already gone to the phisher. This is phishing. Use of electronic messaging system to send unsolicited bulk messages are called unsolicited bulk messages. So electronic messaging system, basically it can be a SMS, it can be an email. So you have seen that mails are coming again and again. Say I am from Uganda, I am a king of Uganda, my money is in UK, you give me this money, and all these kind of things are happening. So sometimes people do sympathy fraud and emotional fraud also. A girl would talk to you for 2-3 months, and ultimately she will take a lot of money from you. And the good thing is the Gmail, Yahoo and big giants, if they see that this email is coming and people are making it spam, then they see and they will directly put this into a spam. It will not come into your primary email. For example, in Truecaller mobile, so you see that a spam is written because most of the people has marked it as a spam. So now whenever that phone comes, you realize that this is a spam. So you won't attend in that way, normal way. The practice of making a transmission appears to come from an authorized user. So as I said, we just talked about spoofing. Spoofing is basically, it is coming from, basically you will see that it is an authorized user. For example, a bank person is mailing you or calling you or messaging you. So you will believe in the legitimacy because they will tell you about your name and address and etc. So basically you will realize or feel that, oh, this is from a good one. For example, you are chatting and if someone else is chatting and you are talking to some X or some Y is there, that is you are talking to a girl, you think, but there is a boy on that side. So he is basically spoofing. Which section of IT Act covers most of the common crimes arising out of unauthorized access? So this we are going to take later, all these crimes, but for the time being is section 66. See, if there is a house, the person will enter you if he is unauthorized from back door, by breaking your door or some window. This is unauthorized access. On cyberspace, if someone does the same activity, that is called unauthorized access. So maybe your website, maybe your social media account, wherever your presence are there in cyberspace, if someone is trying to enter in an unauthorized way and the crimes are being committed, so this is coming under section 66. In cyber law terminology, DDoS. So this is distributed denial of service. So DDoS basically what happens, then a website has a traffic. Now someone creates so much of traffic that the website is not able to send its normal traffic. Or you can say that, denying of service in a distributed way. So when a website is not working, most of the people are affected, that is DDoS. The use of internet or other electronic means to stalk or harass an individual, a group of individuals or an organization is termed as cyber stalking. We just saw this. I'm just repeating it because it is important. This also is important. So programs that multiply like viruses but spread from computer to computer are called as worms. We have already seen this, discussed already. Section 66C of IT Act deals with. So this is the punishment for identity theft. Identity theft is taking your identity. For example, if someone knows about your credit card, all the details, and he is purchasing, so he has actually done a job of theft against you, stealing your identity. Section 66E of IT Act deals with, it's a punishment for violation of privacy. For example, this is your house, say you are married or you have a girlfriend, and then there is a camera here. So this is a privacy breach. Someone puts a camera here, or say in a bathroom of a hotel. That is a punishment for violation of privacy. So that is if you, it is done through privacy or so cyberspace. So your privacy is being jeopardized. This is section 66E. Sometimes people do it for different government also, and their various government they what people are talking, what they are chatting. They want to know what communication is going on. This is comes under section 66E. India's first cyber police station, of course, it's in Bangalore. Hyderabad, Bangalore, these are the IT hubs. But now the Bangalore has crossed a mile against Hyderabad. Information Technology Amendment Act formed in year. So when was IT Act amended? It was done in 2008. Amendment means changes. Sanshodhan. Punishment for sending offensive messages through communication services. This belongs to which act? Say a man is sending some pictures or messages which the girl or a woman doesn't want. That will cover in 66A. Please don't do this. You will be behind the bars. Wishing is a mean for. See, V is for voice. See, phishing, wishing, and smishing. So, phishing is what we just discussed. Wishing is through voice. So, phishing is mainly through email. We took an example also. V is voice. Someone calls you, calls on your phone, calls through some cyber, say some Facebook or some other WhatsApp or etc. Third one is through SMS. People are trying to fool you or get your amount, steal your money, personal information through SMS. This is smishing. So wishing is voice phishing. This is a program in which malicious or harmful code is contained inside apparently harmless programming or data. So, see, Trojan horse, if you know the story, there was a horse and inside which there were soldiers so basically it's a story of Troy. So generally, and those soldiers attacked that particular fort. So in a program, the whole code is there, it is harmless, but there is certain harmful code embedded inside it, and that is somewhat harmful. So Trojan horse may be say some event happens and Trojan horse gets activated. Otherwise, it just is there. It doesn't affect. This also happens sometime. So Trojan horse the word has come from that early story. It may happen that it can just do bad to your system. Sometimes it may not, but it is basically a harmful code inside a harmless code. It is embedded inside. Basically, virus also is a kind of this, because virus is also a program, but it is basically a total program. Which of the following is the most important to install and keep up to date on your personal computer? So antivirus, anti-spyware, what I am suggesting is total internet solution or total security. It has to be internet security, computer security, malware security. All kind of problems can be solved through one particular system. Firewall is basically sniffing all the packets which are coming or going outside. Operating system updates. Operating system is a very big program. Sometimes what happens that there is a backdoor entry, or there is some kind of way where the hacker can come inside. So the operating system updates fixes it. So all of the above must be installed. What is phishing? We have just talked about. So spoofed email and fraudulent websites designed to fool recipients into divulging personal financial data such as credit card numbers, account usernames and password. So phishing, we took an example of ICICI, that is one of the bank. So this is how the spoofing is done through phishing. What type of attack relies on the trusting nature of employees and the art of deception? So social engineering. Basically this is called as psychological fraud. Cyber psychological fraud. Here people make you in such a way, because we have emotions. We have psychology. We think. So if someone comes and he becomes your friend, he befriends you, or and suddenly says, "My mother is in the hospital. Give me 25,000," and the other person will get the money, and that person will never be seen. So this is how they play with your feelings, your emotions, your mind. Social engineering. This is a document that states in writing how a company plans to protect the company's physical and IT assets. So every company, the IT company, how to save this company from any external attack or some competitor attack, right? So this is the security policy. Every company has a security policy. Which of the following are examples of mobile virus? So all of these are the answer. Skull Trojan, Cabir worm, mosquito Trojan, all these are mobile virus. Amendments to the Indian IT Act, which are now new offences, are added. So amendments 67A, sexually explicit content if you are exposing or sending, child pornography if the kids are shown or forced into pornography and that is being displayed, or cyber terrorism, that is creating or trying to fear people through cyber or through internet. So all of the above are the amendments to the Indian IT Act. So which are the following is not part of cyberspace? So calculator is not a part of cyberspace. See, in a cyberspace, you need to have network, you need to have internet, you need to have dealing with web, World Wide Web or data. All these comes under cyberspace. Calculator is in your hand. It doesn't need any internet connectivity. Tampering of computer's source code which is covered in is section 65. So if there is a source code and you tamper it for bad with malicious intent, and then you are basically it's with a very malicious intent, that comes under section 65. So these are some of the cyber crimes, offences and punishment. Section 65, if you see, this is tampering of source code. You will go at least for some time and have to give 2 lakh rupees. Section 66A, punishment for sending offensive messages. 66B, punishment for dishonestly receiving stolen computer resources or devices. That is, if you buy some stolen stuff, so you will be also caught. Punishment for identity theft, that is 66C. So identity theft is, picking up like Jamtara. 66E is punishment for violation of privacy. And then these are, they all have imprisonment, or also they have fine also. So don't breach anybody's privacy. Punishment for cybercrime, cyber terrorism in 66F. So, creating terror. So this is imprisonment for life. Section 67A. So punishment for publishing or transmitting material containing sexually explicit act in electronic form. If you are propagating or showing this sex or related material. 67B. Punishment for publishing or transmitting of material depicting children in sexually explicit act. This is very bad. Children, they are just kids, and this is also a very heinous act. Okay, so be safe, and we learned about a lot in this. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.